that up. Yes. Come on. Good. Come on. It's like you're a kid in a candy shop, man, because like I walk down there, I don't know, I've been walking down there for years now, and every time I go in there, I'm always like, what about that line? My name is Jonathan Scott, 30 years old, dirty 30 this year, and I am someone who enjoys a good laugh and am passionate about climbing.
I think that now that I've traveled a lot of other places and explored all areas of new development, old routes, and then to come back to Natural Bridge and still have projects and routes that I find really fun and I want to do, to me is really cool because I kind of forgot about that. I am Inge Perkins, I'm 22 years old and grew up in Bozeman, Montana, and will always call Montana my home base and learning grounds.
I mean, it's beautiful when you get there. It's something totally unique. You drive up and you see nothing. You're like, there's no climbing here. And even before you get to the actual climbing, you're like, whoa, there's just a waterfall in the middle of this place? And you're like, I haven't even started climbing yet, but I'm kind of stoked and like scrambling down.
First time I ever went to Natural Bridge was with the climbing team, and I was really impressed and I liked it a lot. We climbed like at the porcelain wall, which is kind of tucked away. In some ways I was intimidated by the area because I didn't really understand everything that was going on.
It was the porcelain wall. That started with Alec DeKosh and Tom Wells in the late 90s. And I actually climbed with him on Feline, which was one of the first routes they put up when I was just a freaking little twig back in the day. From there, it went dormant for, man, till 2005, 6, somewhere in there, when Ryan Holm and a buddy of his went down there and said, like, this looks like good rock, because they went fishing down in the canyon. And actually then Kyle Vasilopoulos is the main reason why the canyon is what it is. He saw that piece of coal and turned it into a diamond for sure.
Hers was a long way to go. Mine was beside her, behind and alone. Ours was as teardrop wind into the bone. Ours was as cyclone. I got to say, I got to say.
Shipwreck Boulder is something unique. It looks like a giant piece of the wall that's just cleaved off and perfectly landed in the center of this canyon. When the water's through the canyon in the springtime, the water comes up to like just below the first bolt, so that's like, for the climbing, it's like 20 feet. It's amazing. It looks like it's all choss, and you climb on it and it's like you're climbing like a vertical sea of coral. It's amazing. You're like, where are these holds coming from? And then you get towards like maybe the top of like something like even like Monsters of the Deep or cracking, and it's like just like perfect edges. You're like looking for those dripping features to grab onto, and it's so enjoyable and pretty to climb on.
The first time I went outside climbing was with Conrad because he knew my mom and he was so excited that somebody else wanted to go out. Being able to just enter a community like so quickly, like I had heard about people putting up routes and new things being developed, and that all was so new to me.
You get your little home crag like Natural Bridge and you're like, sweet, this is like perfect. It's 80 to 90 feet tall, slightly overhanging. Like we can have some endurance test pieces here too. They may not look that good, but they climb awesome for sure. So I think that's what kind of got us excited is like, yeah, let's stop dinking around. If we're gonna tie into a rope, man, like let's tie into a goddamn rope and get up there.
Kyle has also been always really encouraging of me, and he is always like encouraging me to try hard routes and push myself. When you're back in Bozeman, you have to try this and this. This is gonna keep you busy. You'll have a great time. You can keep finding gems in Montana. I think there's a lot still undiscovered.
No shot.